This is about my fourth take trying to do this. I've had so much equipment issues. Hey guys, first off I want to thank you all for sticking with me as long as you have. Went on here today, found out I'm sitting at 11,400 subscribers. Thank you so much. Those of you who are new to the channel, please forgive me, this is not my normal content. Please stay tuned, we'll have some new stuff coming out here in the next week or so. But those of you that have been with me since the beginning, I want to thank you for it, and thank you for still being with me. This past year has not had very much content to it, and I might have mentioned it in one or two of the videos, but I didn't give you guys the whole story of what went on. So that's kind of the reason why I want to talk with you a little bit right now. As looking back at some of the videos I've done here, mainly right after the first year, it looked like we had a couple that started out fairly decent, and then you could tell where it all kind of went downhill. It was about the time I did the Walking Nemo. That's about the time I think I hurt my back. Back in January, is January 31st, 2022, I hurt my back. Didn't happen at work. I think it happened because of work, but also it's just years and years of just heavy lifting stuff and just doing stuff I shouldn't have done. And let's just say I took it one step too far, and then it came back to bite me. So January 31st, I ended up going out on leave from my job at Walmart. I was down on my back for about 4 months. I was spent the first month going every single day the chiropractor was open to try to get my back straightened out, and he finally made some pretty good progress, and from there it went down to about 3 times a week, and then down to 2 times a week, and 1, and now I'm to the point where I go in there maybe about once a month, just for a little bit of keeping things straight. But let's go a little bit deeper into what had happened. So I took some time off after doing a lot of unloading of some containers out in the back at work, and it was on my day off. I went to bed one night about 10 p.m., woke up at 2 a.m. with this burning feeling down my left leg. No matter how I turned, I couldn't get any relief from it. Next day, went to the chiropractor, and it's a great guy, did a tremendous job on me. Man, that guy did a great work. But anyway, got in there, he checked me out, he thought something was bad wrong, but at that time I have to work, no matter what. Oh, you need to take time off? No, I gotta go to work. Went to work that night, and those of you who don't know, I was the Auto Care Center's manager at Walmart, which is a assistant store manager position. Never spent any time in my areas, mainly as a closing manager, and which I didn't begrudge it. I was a team player, so I'll do whatever it took to get the job done. And went in there to close that night. Went in at 1 p.m. By the time I was walking out to the car around midnight, I couldn't walk. I was just hanging onto a shopping cart, putting all my weight on it with my elbows, and rolling out to the car. Got in the car, went home. Next morning, went to the chiropractor. He checked me out. Told me, he says, "You're not going to like this, but I need to take you out for at least 3 days, and let you have some bed rest and see how this goes." I reluctantly went ahead and said yes, which everybody at work didn't like it, but what can you do? Well, that coming Monday, which was the 31st of January, I went to work at 7 a.m. in the morning. I had an opening shift. I wasn't going to wait and go to the chiropractor, even though I wasn't much better. I thought I'll just tough through it. Once I start moving around, it'll loosen up. Wrong. It didn't. But I went ahead and went to work. Lasted about 3 hours. And the muscle spasms, just constant, like somebody took a cattle prod. Just constant muscle spasms. The burning down the leg. It just got to, from the time I left the car to go into the store, I had to grab a shopping cart to kind of hang on to as I went in. I let management know what was going on right off the bat, and it's Walmart. Yeah. I love the people I work with, but it's Walmart. Pretty much was told go here, go there, as if nothing was wrong. So I tried my best, stuck it out, and finally, about 3 hours in, I just couldn't take it anymore. I just called him up, said, sorry, I gotta go. I need to go get something checked out because something's not right. Because at that point, it was just burning, just like a blowtorch down my leg. Couldn't put hardly any weight on my left leg at all. Went to the chiropractor again. He told me, you're not going to like this, but you need to take at least 2 weeks off to see if this eases up. And he told me, he says, I think you either have a bulging disc or you've got a ruptured disc, and it's causing the pressure on the sciatic nerve. So I took his advice and took 2 weeks off. 2 weeks led into 4 weeks, and next thing you know, it's 4 months later. And thankfully, after about a month of going in 6 days a week to go see him and working on it, they started putting me on this traction table where it would stretch your back. You put the straps around your ankles, a strap across your back, and it pulls. And that somehow that combination between that and ice and the bed rest, it started noticing a huge difference. Finally, the after about 3 weeks, started noticing the let me turn this off. After about 3 weeks of doing this, noticed that all of a sudden I wasn't having the muscle spasms like I did. It started easing up a little bit, and just kind of kept doing the same thing. But got where I could go from the 6 days a week down to about 4 days a week, and then down to 3 days a week, and then now I go about maybe once a month. But this went on for nearly 4 months. Well, in that time period, I got a phone call from HR and gave me the ultimatum that if I wasn't back by a certain day, that pretty much my job, I wouldn't be able to return to the same position, and that I could take up to a year off, but when I came back, I'd have 30 days to find another position, or, adios. Which then opened a whole new opportunity, because it's like, do I really want to go back? Now, like I said, now I love the people I worked with. I really did. All my managers, all of them, I really respect them and I love them to death. But when you're in a position where you're supposed to be working 10 hours a day, but you find yourself going in at 1 p.m. and you're not getting out till 2 or 3 in the morning. And one time in particular, I didn't get home till nearly 6 in the morning. It comes to a point where you question whether the pay is worth it. And between hurting my back, getting that phone call, it was just kind of the breaking point where I just decided it wasn't worth it. About that same time, I got a phone call from a district manager at Victra, and he offered me a store manager position, significant pay cut, but it was 10 minutes down the road from where I live. It's a little store, pretty much if I need to sit down, I could sit down. And by this point, I was starting to get to the point where I could walk. I could move around. I could pick up to maybe 5 pounds comfortably. I kid you not, I got to the point where I couldn't even pull my own wallet out of my pants. It was really bad. If you told me right now that I'd be somewhat back to normal back at that time, I would have thought you were lying to me, because it was that bad. Anyway, I went ahead and I said yes to it, put my notice in at Walmart, which wasn't much of a notice. It was oh, okay, here's your check. Okay. Nice to know I'll be missed. So, went ahead and said my goodbyes with Walmart. I went to Victra, which was they're the largest Verizon retailer. So I was in wireless for about 3 months, and then I get a phone call from Staples. Well, by that time, I got to the point where I was, picking up a box with some cell phones in it. I was walking around. I purposely would pace the floor when it wasn't busy. I was constantly, trying to kind of push it a little bit, try to get a little bit more walking in. And I got to the point where I was back up to a mile, 2 miles a day of walking. Now, mind you, at my peak at Walmart, I was walking on average between 12 to 15 miles a day. There was a couple times I actually did hit 17 miles in one day because it was a huge store. But I finally got back up where I could walk maybe 1 or 2 miles, and I'm like, I might be able to do this. So they offered more money than what I was getting at Victra, to the point where I couldn't say no to it. And it wasn't near what I was getting at Walmart, but it was enough where I could do it. And so that's what I've been doing since September. So that's the reason why, if you notice, that all of a sudden the videos just kind of ended about about 6 months ago was the last video I put out, and that was a trip we took to Sedona, Arizona, because that was the week before I started at Verizon. So I took a little quick trip with Beth to go there. Back was a little bit touchy at the time, but I didn't do any lifting, just kind of took it easy. Made it through the trip just fine, so I thought, okay, so went through Victra and got a little bit better, and then went to Staples, and I won't lie, the first week I was at Staples, I thought I was going to die. All the walking I was doing, because all of a sudden I went from walking 1 or 2 miles to suddenly, I checked my phone, I walked 4 miles or 5 miles, and that was just horrible. I kid you not, when I was in Fremont for training, I went into every drugstore they had there and bought all of their instant ice packs. I'm probably on a government watch list somewhere. But I was popping those things at break time, every break I got, lunchtime, every time I got a chance, I'd go out to the car, pop one, stick it in behind my belt, lay back on it, and just let that cold and just kind of relax that sciatic nerve. And after 6 weeks of doing that, I was doing a lot better. And so now, I'm sales manager there and doing decent, and it feels nice being somewhere where it feels like you belong. It's a feeling I have not had since I was with Sears. Sears, you just felt like family, and that's kind of what this feels like. It feels like family, and I don't mean it from that's the way work is. They take advantage of you. It's nothing like that. It's just, it feels like you belong, and I'm really enjoying it. And I'm starting to get to the point where I feel like I can start taking on a little bit more and start getting back into making 3D printing videos and different kinds of videos. I feel like I'm to that point where I can come back and comfortably start doing it and enjoying it again. Because honestly, I quit enjoying 3D printing during COVID. When I was printing all those little mask things, I got so burnt out on it because I had 5 printers up here on the desk printing 24/7, coming out constantly, just running those things. And I burnt myself out between that, and at that time I was at Walmart, between the long hours and all that, I just didn't find any enjoyment in it. But now I'm starting to get to the point where I think it's time to get back into making videos again. And that's where I need your guys' help. Tell me what you think. What ideas do you have? What do you think I could 3D print, or is there anything you want me to take a look at and do a video on? Let me know. Put it in the comments below and let me know what you think of it. But my biggest thing for coming on here and jabbering all this whole time was I wanted to thank you all for watching my videos and for sticking with me. And I'm definitely planning on hopefully at least one video a month. I'm hoping to get back to 1 video a week. I'll never get back to 2 videos a week. I don't see that happening. But if I could get back to 1 video a week, that would be awesome. But right now my goal is 1 video a month, and see where that leads. I know one video that I'm going to be doing is I got to print something for this camera because I'm seeing a light flare from this light up here coming down onto the lens. And no matter what I do, I can't seem to get to stop. So I think I'm going to do like a, not a lens cover, but a shield or something to come out over it to kind of block the light from hitting right straight onto the lens. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I wish you all the best 2023 possible. Wish you all the best luck and a happy new year, and let's get back into it. Take care.